Everyone and welcome. Before we start, we have a disclosure. Please be aware of risk in the future. Trade in all our videos for educational purpose only. You're very welcome to follow any of our automated signal as long as you are on a sim. We're not responsible for your trade. It's very important today. At this moment, you need to hold on a little bit on the ES because the ES have a lot of resistance here, and if you want to allow your auto trade to take a trade long, you need to wait till the ES cross the 5086. The same story on the Nasdaq. If you are auto trading, you need to make sure we are crossing the 18,025 before you start taking long. This is a very heavy resistance in those area here, and you should not try to take a trade long. It's irrelevant what type of an auto trade you are using. This is a very high risk to allow your auto trade to take a long trade in here. If we look at the market analyzer, there is weakness to the long side. The same story apply for the Nasdaq. So I would not allow the auto trade, any type of an auto trade, any type of a tweak in auto trade or a time frame is irrelevant. First, we need to see that the ES crossing this level, and we need to see the Nasdaq crossing those critical area here. If it don't, that means we are dropping, and most likely on the Nasdaq we dropping even below the 17,979. The ES is a sad story. There is nothing we can do with the ES. There is a heavy resistance and a heavy support, so the market is sideways. So please be careful, and we will see how the outcome on the ES and Nasdaq. Stand by, please. As we see, the ES didn't make it, and there is no short and there is no short and no long on the ES, guys. There is, sorry to tell you this, there is no short and there is no long on the ES. Please, if you are auto trading the ES, and be careful, your chances making trades on the ES, you're gonna get in trouble. The ES is not a tradable. Please be careful. We do have an ES trading, but it's not tradable. Do not allow the ES take a trade. Let me give you an example here. Here is an ES made $200 on the first trade and is taking that trade right there. The problem is with this. The problem with this, if we look, there is a heavy support area, and this one here is not good. Close position is not good. and I'll take a 250 on that trade and leave it alone. There is a lot of support area, so I'm not interested in this ES at this moment. So if you see a couple of $300 on your ES, whatever type of auto trade you are using, be careful with it, or try to keep your hands close to the closing position, because it's going to fire back at you. So by looking at your chart and you see a couple $100 a trade does not mean you are in a good shape, because it's going to fire back, and we have a lot of support and a lot of this is a big pile of mud to trade on the ES. And welcome to trading, you know. And there is nothing we can do about it, you know. And especially for amateur trader, he's looking for magical template or magical optimization, which we do have those people as well, you know. And no matter what you tell them to keep your eye on they don't want to look at it. They just need a magic template, and we don't provide magic templates. So there is always has to be careful when like, as an example, it's very simple. Like here, this is not tradable to go long, and there is no chance you can trade ES in those conditions here. It's not really good to trade. There is a high risk and there is losses. Despite the auto trade have winning and losing, but by keeping your eye on the situation on the chart, can so we keep monitoring those Nasdaq and the ES. There is nothing we can do about this, guys. I'm sorry, but this is the way it is with the market. I wish I can move it for you. I don't have enough money to move the market for you. And as we see, like what I said, do not trade the ES. We can see the ES. It's just sitting. There is no direction on the ES. And if we look at the Nasdaq, you can see there is a heavy resistance, and it's not doing anything. It's coming to the support and going back to the resistance. There is nothing we can do about it. Nothing. There is no magic templates. There is no magic auto trade. It's going to bail us out of those conditions. And let me show you also. We have a couple auto trades. They are for those kind of condition on the on those trades. When the market, there is a problem in the market, we have different type of an auto trade can go between those trades, and here is one of them. But it's not good. If we notice, it's been on the same trade for a very long time, and it's not doing anything. It's just sitting there, and eventually it's gonna go against us as a matter of time. So if you are auto trading ES, it's irrelevant what kind of auto trade you have. And if you have a couple of $300, please do not get excited about it. If you have a chance to close that trade, like here, close this position and close that position, and you can see that trade has been there for a very long time and is nothing happening. So leave it alone. The ES, especially if you are a kind of guy, you cannot look at the technical chart, or you don't want to look at the technical chart, that's very fine. But you should be aware this is not a tradable market at this moment, and that can make you lose money. Irrelevant template, auto trade, a chart, time frame, range, takes, doesn't matter. It's going to be the same story. And if we look on the Nasdaq, especially for the ATR traders, or MACDs, or those kind of basic auto trades, those here now, they fell into this long trade, but there is no long trade at this moment until we cross this area here, and then it is safe to allow your auto trade to take a trade. Another things also to our traders, when you see the Nasdaq on the buy condition and the ES on the sell condition, that means the market is disaster. And the smartest way is stay away, go get yourself a cup of coffee, put your legs on the table, relax, and wait. This cannot be optimized. This cannot be predicted. This cannot be built out of just one template. Optimization is not going to tell you at 10:13 a.m. on the 27th of February, you're going to have a disaster between an ES and a Nasdaq. Only people are amateur. They think it is something, you bubble with it and should be working, but it does not work the market this way. Only amateur traders, they have no idea how the market works. They don't understand how the programming works, and they think it should be always winning. And as you see, they've been so many years around and they never had success. They're not facing the problem, and there is no magic in there. The magic is when we see the Nasdaq crossing this line, the magic begin. And when we see the ES and the Nasdaq going on the same direction and the YM, every time when you get up in the morning and you see the ES, Nasdaq, YM going on the same direction, that means you are in the market. It's a tradable market. When you see the market is the ES to the sell position and the Nasdaq to the buy position, that means fasten your seatbelt, and there is no trade. There is no trade, and you should not put your finger in any live trades. Simple as that. Simple as that. Let me explain to you what is the story in here. If we look at the ES, you can see from 1 to 30 minutes is in red, from 1 to 15 minutes is in red. The sellers are equal to the buyers, and most of the indicators are in red. If we look at the Nasdaq, it's the opposite direction. Everything almost is in the green. The buyers over the sellers, and yet the Nasdaq is not going anywhere. When those two are not lining up, irrelevant what type of auto trading you have, you're going to have a problem on both. Because the ES want to drag the Nasdaq down, and the Nasdaq want to drag the ES up. And this is, you have to be Houdini in order for you to predict what's just going on here. And you know, you have to have a rabbit under your hat to figure out which direction is going here. So this is when a situation like this, we're no longer talking about trading. We're talking about Las Vegas here. We are gambling. We don't want to get excited about over one winning trade, but we wanted to find a direction to the market in order for us to unleash the auto trade. And here it is. As you see, the market is messy between the ES and Nasdaq. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what auto trade you are using. You are not doing well worldwide between the ES and Nasdaq. You're not doing well. I don't care where you come from. I don't care how professional you are. You're not doing you're not making any money on the ES and the Nasdaq. I don't care where you're from. Even when we are using higher time frame, on the higher time frame, you have a different problem. On the higher time frame, you cannot use 10 ticks stop loss, and you cannot use 20 ticks stop loss. If you are using big time frame, 13, 14, 15, you have to put a lot of ticks on the stop loss. To lose and trade can really damage your account. An average trader for Ninja Trader is around $5,000 plus minus, and that can create a lot of damages on your account. So right now, we're trying to see if once this ES cross this line 5,085, and the Nasdaq is wanted to get up, that's fine. It's fixing to cross all those lines, is fine, but I will not touch it at this moment until we see the ES crossing this line. And once we get the buy signal on the ES, that means the market is synchronized and it is tradable. Simple as that. Very simple. Because now this movement on the Nasdaq, you're gonna say, oh boy, I better jump in because maybe I'm gonna miss the trend. Miss the trend is fine. Miss the trend because you don't know how it's gonna turn back on you. Be careful. We have the scalper. We have the scalper auto trade. If you're thinking about scalping, let me show you. On the scalper with the ES, it was doing very well this morning. It was taking a very good. Practically every trade is a winning trade, and the damage start here. There is one losing trade, there is another losing trade, and there is another losing trade here, small ones. And now it is based on one contract, and it is going long. And this is where the problem on that, we have the 5,084, and the target here is 5,088. We have a broke even, but I'm not sure we are able to accomplish the 5,088 on that trade. The CL closed on 2,000. The daily target is 2,000, and it closed on 2,000. The YM also is based on 2,000, and we will see if it's gonna finish that trade, or you can override it. But if it's coming to your favor, it's gonna stay a little bit above the 2,000. And here is the ES start sinking, and this is your auto trade starts sinking with it. You see? So it is a break even, that's very fine. A broke even the auto trade and is sinking again. So this is only one trade based on one contract, and here it is. It's coming back to close at 5,079, you know, and then if we want to, we can close the position here from this button. Speaking of a devil, here's your NASDAQ. By going that direction, you think the short is over, and it is. This little drop put everyone out of the trade for a trailing stop. So we will wait and see if this gonna make any sense on this ES trade. Is it tradable? No, it's not. The ES is not tradable. As we see, the NASDAQ is dropping again. So the guys, the ones who's taken a long trade, if they have a tighter trailing stop, they would have been out of that trade. You have to be careful. There is a seller trying to sell right there. So you have to be careful. And you can see nothing happening in the NASDAQ and nothing happening on the ES. And it is very simple. Your support is 5,077 and your resistance is 5,083. Very simple. We have a 3 signal on the ES sell. We have a 3 signal on the NASDAQ buy, and neither one of them working. Neither one of them is trending. And then we have the YM sell, CL buy, the 6E buy, the 30-year treasury bond going on the same direction as the ES sell. This is one big messy market. Nothing you can do. Just the best way, sit on the side. It's better than to lose money. The ES took another short trade. We'll see. This is a very accurate auto trade. Trade in levels. If we cross the 5,077, we're going to drop to 5,074. As we see the sellers over the buyers and all the indication to the short side, but we need to cross this 5,077 for that trade to make money. Once we cross the 50.77, we're gonna tangle with this 50.74, so I can be related to that trade. I'm gonna let it be, and the sellers over the buyers, the market analyzer all in red, so it's gonna go down finally after a long time. Here it is. And it's coming straight to it's not a strong short. It's a very mild one, and we'll be happy if we can get that trade to 50.74. That will be nice. We keep our eye on it and see if we can do that. We need to cross. We need to see that bar close below this 50.77, and then we are in a good shape based on one contract. And here it is, perfect, broke even, and then I'll leave it alone. Now that will be nice if we can cross the 50.74, but now we are on a free flight on this one here, broke even. It doesn't matter anymore if it's going to be losing or winning trade. It's not costing us any money. And it's gonna drop to the 5,074. I hope we don't get stopped out before. We are going to get stopped out. We did. Okay. Look where the wick came into, to the 50.75, and we were estimating 50.74. Yes, welcome to trading. Ooh, what a day. There is not much to do, guys. I'm gonna sit on standby. There is no use to call any trade for you. I'm sorry. There is absolutely nothing to trade here. I'm gonna sit on the side.